everyone. I'm This is a very unconventional streaming hour for me right now. I sneakily too poorly. Yes, I seem to have an audience. Hello everyone. I just wanted to test something out real quickly, so this probably won't be a very long stream because I have a lot of study to do. However, I wanted to test out the idea of drawing some stuff by hand because why don't I show you what I'm thinking of? Okay, let me window capture properties and we'll make it that what? Oi! Oh, there we go. Yes. Okay, let's turn that on. Yeah, look at this. How's that? It may be unconventional for you, but I can finally watch it because it's not 3 a.m. Oh, well, welcome. I'm so happy to see you here. So yeah, I noticed that while I'm doing my classes, I have gotten to a point where I am doodling in class and I'm drawing little things that look nice. And I remember just how nice a pencil feels, you know? Doesn't it feel good? And so I was thinking maybe, because I do want to do some more digital drawing as well, and it's definitely a lot easier to set up with streaming and all that. But I just wanted to sort of test out a kind of layout. This isn't very attractive, I know, but you know, at least I'm drawing something. Jeez, give me a break. So yeah, I'd probably just do like a bunch of little sketches like this. Maybe I'd even do the whole comic that I had planned on doing. I've got like a comic about how me and Shuklia met and how I thought she was a spy for most of our friendship. And that's something that I've been wanting to work on. Also, here was like, back when I started getting back into streaming again in 2017, I was trying to draw like a little icon of like a Kav that was really serious into the whole video games thing. So like I could do some line work and things like that as well. What is this thing called? Pencil. Yeah, so I thought maybe we just have a little bit of fun, just see where this takes us. And please feel free to give me feedback about, you know, the quality of the stream, or, you know, if it's not good. Here's some sketches for a picture, for a picture storybook I was going to make at some point called The Prettiest Grump. Hello there, Woldhouse. How's it going? Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm just like contemplating doing like some pencil sketches or something just manually rather than on the computer, because it's definitely what I'm used to doing, and I am trying to get back into drawing, you know. Why are these so cute? Oh, I couldn't tell you. A lot of these, like, this is I drew this picture 7 years ago, so that should give you an indication of how rusty I am. I went from that to that in 7 years, so I feel like I've regressed somewhat. One that I'm quite proud of, actually. Back when, like, I was drawing these pictures when I was like at the peak of gender dysphoria and really angry because I was on like this contraceptive pill, which like wasn't, which was just making me really depressed. So I was like, I'm so angry. Oh, why is gender so horrible? Gender is shit. I mean, which I still agree with, you know, but I'm not as angry about it now. I'm a little bit, somewhat more accepting of. No, I'm not really accepting of it. I'm just sort of like, yeah, well, at least I don't have to deal with it. Yeah, it was Japan. I was drawing that in Japan. What else have I got here? I've got like my most gender dysphoria picture of all time, which I've showed a few times, but I'm quite proud of it. I think it really sums up gender dysphoria as a concept. Oops. There we go. Look at that. Look at that grumpy person there. That's pretty much like when I look back at that, I'm like, ah, yes, I remember that feeling. Yeah, I lived in Japan for about 6 years, Woldhouse. And I can't remember if you're a translator as well. I know Justice Kazi is, but I too am a translator. And I'm currently procrastinating a Japanese translation job, as it happens. Started doing a little sketch of my rabbit gillyweed as well. I might continue that at some point. But why don't we just like fiddle around with this whole setup that we've got going on here? I need to make it so you can actually see the picture though, which is going to be annoying because I want you to see what I can see, but the table is just not big enough. It's not big enough for the two of us. Oh Jesus! So this is why I call all my streams Kav P does blah poorly. It's because I do everything with a degree of finesse that would put. Oh geez, sorry, that was the microphone. I'm so sorry. You see, this is what my audience come to enjoy every time. Table is not big enough for Gillyweed. That's true. She might get a new friend. I think my sibling is going to take her. Why is the... Oh, sorry, the mouse has been there the whole time. How ugly. Move the camera to the top right. I could do that, but then everything will be upside down. But what if I'm then... Oh, I see. So what if I... Okay, so it's upside down now, but then I take it out and I put it around, and now it's the right way up. Oh, you're so clever, Dumby. Oh my goodness. This changes everything. Although now, it's a little bit on an angle. Foibles are the selling point. Yeah, I can see that. Okay, well now you've got my belly as well and my skull t-shirt. Look at that. You like that? It says, "You make me happy. I've never been happy." Clappy. Guess which country I bought that English t-shirt in. Give you a hint. It starts with J. Okay, so let's see. This seems to be the right way up, yeah? DPRK, yeah? Possibly. I got a bunch of really fun stuff in Taiwan as well. Jordan. Australia. We do have some shitty t-shirts, don't we? Okay, so everything that I draw tends to start with a circle. I don't know what I'm going to draw yet because I haven't drawn in a really long time. Isn't it cool that you can both see the camera and see me? Why did I ever not do this? And I'm just a lot more confident with drawing on paper as well. Oh dear, I think I broke this. This is a little bit sharp. This mechanical pencil. Is this a Dr. Grip? Yes, I should advertise. Oh, whoa. Can you see it? Stop. No, focus. Dr. Grip. No. There we go. Dr. Grip. Dr. Grip has been my go-to mechanical pencil for many, many years. I wonder what Dr. Grip is a doctor in. Grip? Oh yeah, there's no music. Oh my goodness, I completely forgot that's what we do in our drawing streams. How could I have been so blind? Okay, let me get up our favorite album. Our favorite Gripology. Okay, building a better way to see the USA. Of course we have to play this. I was thinking of moving the window of Cav face to the top right, as your phone was mounted in a way that the drawing was skewing to the left. You misunderstood, but it gave you an idea that turned out to be better than my original idea, so everything worked out. Whoops, sorry. Okay. Let's start the music. Well, music. Can you hear that? Let me know if it's too loud or whatever. Oh, you need yodeling. I'm so sorry. I'll try the yodeling next time. So, and I just realized that if I draw like this, you can't actually see what I'm drawing because my hand will be covering most of it. So maybe my original idea, Dumby's original idea was better. This is kind of alright. Oh, email writing is the worst. I'm also procrastinating writing an email. Oh, this is very loud, isn't it? I'm gonna be doing an interview with like a transmasculine poet about code switching, which is like the phenomenon in language where you use like 2 or more languages. What are we drawing? Let's draw a rabbit. Oh, the image is frozen? It's not frozen here. What's going on there? Thank you for letting me know. It's fine now. What the hell? God damn. But yeah, I thought it'd be really interesting to learn about code switching in the sense of like, code switching is a, like, you know, it's about the intersections between language, right? But what about the intersections between gender? Like, how does that interact with the intersections of culture and language and all that? It's so cool. The sound's not in sync. Why is everything going wrong? Oh my god. Hold on. I'll be back. Just gonna disappear under the table for a while. There's always something, isn't there? Kav P always does Twitch poorly, is the thing. Now I need to reset the webcam. Webcam. Deactivate. Activate. Hooray! Okay, presumably I'm visible now. Okay, let's get rid of that. Technical issues are an integral part of the Twitch stream genre. Very, very true. Have to write an email to convince a potential thesis supervisor that you know stuff without having taken courses and said stuff. Oh my god, that is actually my everyday experience whenever I sign up to a course, because like, well, a language course, because I learn languages ridiculously quickly, but no one believes me, and like no one believes me until they experience it themselves, and like everyone overstates, well, a lot of people overstate their language ability if they're doing a language class. Like they say, oh, I learn really quickly, but they don't. The only difference is I actually do. So, it's always frustrating when I'm starting a new course at a new institution and I'm trying to say, like, can I be put in a class that's, like, beyond what I'm capable of doing? Like, if I do a proficiency test and I don't do so well, can you put me one level above anyway? Because I will catch up, and then I will surpass, and then I will become bored. So, this is for everyone's good. And everyone's like, oh no, this will be fine. And then that happens, and I surpass and I get bored. That's what happens when you're a freak. Oh wait, I was gonna do a bunny, not a person. That's the thing, like, I know how it comes across when you say, I am smart, believe me. Of course no one wants to believe you. Like, I completely understand their perspective, and I can imagine it's the same thing for you, Dumby. If you've sort of unofficially studied these concepts, as opposed to in class, you're probably at or above that level of that class, but there's no way to prove it on paper. I wouldn't have the nice fingernails to pull off the stream. Uh-oh. Now it's a bunny person. How? Bunny head. Oh god, that reminds me of the little Fox Sonic fan character I used to draw. Oh jeez. Maybe I should draw that. Yeah, I'm gonna draw my fan character. Feels like that kind of a day. Where's that old eraser? Looks like one of those Digimen. Okay, so... Okay, this was a fox, so the... Ah! The nose... Did you see the eraser bounce? I'm doing so well today. The Lost Tales sibling, that's right. It was Miles Tales Prowler's long lost older sister called Kibba Tales Prowler. Which is why my YouTube channel keeps reverting to the name Kibba Tales. Oh, so embarrassing. Okay, now you can actually see what I'm doing, huh? I'll try to keep what you can see into account. Let me know if you think that I should move the camera back around the other way, because I can do that and it will probably lead to a more, entertaining experience, if I'm honest. Yeah, for those of you who are new to my art streams, it's become a staple to listen to this album at some point. This album being a 1972 album designed specifically for use on the Chevrolet showroom floor to help sell Chevrolets. So it's full of propaganda about how you should buy one of their cars and go driving around the USA. So yeah, this is my underground, buried, furry existence, basically. I was like a high school student, and I just really liked the artwork of I just really liked Tails. And then I found out there was this really skeezy underbelly, and I'm not talking about the people who are furries and sort of into kinky stuff. They're fine. I'm talking about the grown men who will try and prey on high school students such as myself, and try and introduce them to things that they're not, ready for, not interested in, because of the fact that they draw, this kind of art. That's what I'm talking about when I say skeezy underbelly. So that's why I left, basically. That's why I decided, okay, this community is not one I feel comfortable being in. Which is, obviously I was just in the wrong crowd. Because there's plenty of people in the furry community who are not like that. In fact, the majority of people. But, I guess it's one of those once burned, twice shy sort of things. How did you get into leftist politics from doing furry? I wouldn't say the two are connected. But it does seem like that happens, doesn't it? Like, you either go really far right or you go really far left. Like, you've got those Nazi furs as well, yeah? They're weird, though. It's been very satisfying to see how they've been, roundly shunned by the rest of the community. Furry skeptic avatars of the mid-2010s. Oh, dear. So you can see, I mean, if you've tuned into my previous streams, you can probably already see just how much more confident I am. I mean, I'm not making a statement on talent here, but just in terms of how easily I draw the lines here, just because I'm so much more used to this style of rough housing. Let's say rough housing. Rough arting. Oh, I forgot the eyelashes. very, very foxy eyelashes there. Because, as we all know, foxes have eyelashes. You can't really see very much, can you? I guess the lower I go, then you can sort of see a little bit of the face. But yeah, like I say, this is like a little test stream. So any feedback that you have is would be fantastic in terms of like how I can make it, you know, make future drawing streams like this, you know, easier to access. The light is very bright on my oh, yeah, I don't know how to fix that. It's like, it changes every minute. It's annoying. And then like when I move in a certain way, it goes back to normal. So I don't know if there's something that I can change in the lighting to just give it like a set look or what, but yeah. It's not even bright outside. I paid like $100 for this stupid webcam as like a last minute, you know, well, looks like I'm gonna be in Australia for a while, sort of buy, and my god, I should have just brought down the one that I have with me. I mean, the one in Liverpool. Found my first partner in the furry community, actually. And then I found another partner in the Sonic community, even after I was kind of off Sonic. I joined this forum, ironically, because like some people who knew me from that first, so like furry forum that I joined, invited me to join this other one, and I was like, ugh, whatever. And so I joined, and I just spent my time trolling people on there, and being an arsehole, basically, because, I mean, you know what I'm like. And then I noticed that one of the admins on the forum was doing the same thing. And we were friends for like 7 years, and then eventually we got together. It was really nice. That's the person who, my Italian partner, who I always sent horrible, like, racist Italian songs to, because, I mean, when I did it, it was ironic. No, it was terrible. I don't know, there's something about Italian which just turns me into the worst kind of arsehole, and it's something that I've been actively trying to work on. But I feel like a big part of working on yourself is acknowledging your flaws and your problems. And yes, my problem is I find Italian caricatures really funny. Ironically finding an ironic partner, yeah. That's what happened. I can't remember how to draw bodies. Just kind of drawn a blank here. You know what normally happens? Once I get to the body part, I kind of give up, lose confidence, and then I just start, you know, busying myself with other things to pretend to myself that everything's okay. Like, oh yeah, you can fix up the hair. Just make the lines a little bit more pronounced, and like add in a little bit of shading. Yeah, that's what you're doing. You're still working on the picture, even though you're putting off the inevitable. I don't know if any of you can relate. Body's the way I draw floating heads. I draw a lot of floating heads. Or I make them ghosts. Like, I just do that. And maybe I'll draw arms. Otherwise they're just a ghost. And I always draw a little shadow there to show that they're floating off the ground. But still, you know, this is just a chest stream, so I don't need to complete a picture. Those are the rules that I've just set just now for myself. Oh. Little bit I jumped the gun a little bit there. Which Sonic cartoon was my favorite? We never got them in Australia, as far as I'm aware. And I was always really jealous of people who got to watch it. But like, yeah, not really something under my realm of experience. It was really just the first 2 Sonic games. Well, I imagine like the second 2, because those were the ones with Tails. I basically just liked Tails' design. I thought Tails was adorable. We did get Sonic X, the anime. Oh, maybe after my time. I know you're quite a bit younger than me, William. Well, I just assume everyone on here is younger than me to some degree. So now we add a little bit of shading to the hair to make it look a little bit more real. And to put off doing the body. So once we do the shading, I like to darken the outlines a little bit just to make them a little bit more clear. I'm a very big fan of thick outlines. I like my outlines to be thick with a double K. You saw Sonic Underground on Kids Go on Foxtail. I was really jealous because I liked the character design of Manic the Hedgehog too. I always sort of had a thing for characters that were off the grid to a degree. Maybe because I saw myself reflected in them. I don't know. Oh yes, this is the best song on the album. Everyone enjoy this masterpiece of... I was going to say cinema there. Masterpiece of soundtrack. Yeah, I think you probably are, William. But I mean, kudos to you for being sort of as insightful and knowledgeable as you are, you know, despite your low number of years. Oh, Jefferoth! Thanks for resubscribing! 7 months. But yeah, like, people like my stream audience and, you know, various other things that I see around sort of make me feel really, really happy. Like, you know, the kids are gonna be alright. Our generation is kind of messed up, irrevocably, but, you know, I feel like they've got things. All we need to do as elders in the community is to just support them, you know, like, give them what they need. Isn't it amazing? I went from being such an angsty, angry person to being someone who's just inherently optimistic about the way things are going. In the middle of, like, COVID and culture wars and everything, I've never been more optimistic about the world, because it's kind of like, well, I saw that stuff was there, no one else did, but now everyone sees it. And to me, that's a good thing. You know, none of this sneaking around with the old systemic racism and all that. Everyone knows it's there now. Yes, it is a surprise Kav stream, just to test out, like, the possibility of drawing by hand. Has this been okay so far? Like, I haven't been looking too much to see if you can see what I'm drawing. I know my hand is probably going to be really annoying, especially because I'm left-handed, and so I tend to cover up everything. It's just a secretive thing that we left-handed people do. Our generation grew up with bad Sonic fan art. Okay, good. Keep that feedback coming, yeah? I respond very well to constructive feedback. Very well. There's nothing worse than someone who asks for feedback and then like when you say something, provides excuses for why what they did was completely fine. Actually. And why did you even bring that up? God. Yeah, that brings me back to when I was directing a musical once, and like the lead actor was just the worst with that kind of thing. And I'm the director, you know. I'm meant to direct. Like, it's my job to tell them, do this like that. And it doesn't matter what they think. You know, they can give their feedback, but ultimately, I'm the director. But no. Yeah, I know. And then you just do the same thing. Reminds you of you never laughed this much in the Sims streams. I like this guy. Oh, I laugh. One of my earliest memories is a child telling me that I laugh too much and making me cry because I was like, what does it mean to laugh too much? Yeah, these streams tend to be a little bit more relaxed. A lady from a fiction writing class I took a few years ago wrote a racist story and she was called in it and doubled. Yeah, that's no good. Don't you see, it's not racist because the indigenous people I have portrayed are nice. Are sympathetic, therefore it's not racism, even though I've portrayed them in the most caricaturistic way possible. How many of you prefer line art to color art? Like these sort of sketches as opposed to, you know, color pictures? Because I always find that when I look at processes of people's art, I always prefer the sketch stage more than the final product. There's just something about the texture, I think, of pencil, which is very pleasing to me. She defended herself by saying she grew up in the barrio. Alright. I grew up there, therefore my situation is... Ugh. Ugh. Like, I lived in Fiji for periods of months at a time, but like, I'm not gonna pretend that I understand, you know, for example, black people as a result of that. Ugh! That's frustrating. Oh, Blinky Bill! Yeah, I loved Blinky Bill when I was growing up. Extraordinary! I liked Tiny Toons, but that's not Australian. And Animaniacs is getting a remake. How about that? That's exciting. I'm so excited. Like, I'm so happy. Whenever I see anything with Tress MacNeille, the voice actor in it, I'm just happy. I hope she always gets work. She's so good. She was one of my heroes growing up. Tress MacNeille, the voice actor. Did anyone remember Freakazoid? I liked Freakazoid too. Again, this is me saying I liked all the wacky stuff. 'Cause I'm so wacky! Oops, there we go. A little bit of shading in the eyes there. Whoop. Oh dear, I grew. Ah, shit, no. Ah, all the lines. Oh no, it's fine. That'll do us. I'll just maybe make this eye stick out a little bit more. There we go. It's funny, I'm like explaining what I'm doing and completely covering it so you can't see it. That's how we do things around here. Freakazoid is like Deadpool, but for kids. Yeah, you're right. It never really took off, and I always thought that was a little bit odd. It was an interesting concept. Like, it was like a response to cartoons like Batman, which, I mean, I understand when I was a kid, I thought they took themselves too seriously. But I think, from what I've heard from other people, they did have their own kind of humor in them. Well, I think I'm done with this character. And this character had like 4 tails instead of 2. Because I said so. Well, Gen Alpha kids get into furry art from Bluey. What's Bluey? What else are we gonna draw today? The more tails, the merrier, right? The thing is, I don't want to get because left-handed, if I start drawing to the right, I'm gonna smudge the shit out of this poor thing. Let's put it upside down. Did any of you, wasn't there that show, like Mr. Squiggle or something? I think that was an Australian TV show which had like a scary clown with a big pencil for the nose. And you would get squiggles, like just random scribbles, and then he would like use his nose. Oh God, Australian TV shows for kids were really scary. My God, now that I think about it, that's horrific. Like a big clown with a pencil for a nose. If you're hearing that and you haven't seen Mr. Squiggle, that's, oh my God. Oh, it's ghastly. I'm gonna try and draw Mr. Squiggle from memory, actually. Oh, Round the Twist had a scary clown? I don't remember the scary clown. I remember Round the Twist. The opening credits used to frighten me because before the end of the credits, they'd always show something scary like a vampire or something. And there's also Liftoff. Liftoff was from the 90s, so most of you won't be aware of that. But Liftoff was bloody scary. There was like a doll without a face, which was one of the main characters. I was afraid whenever 5 or 6 Club came around as a kid because that was Round the Twist. Yeah. I've always had this sort of fascination with scary things, even though I'm very, very easily frightenable. What did this nose even look like? So there, because it's like a big pencil, but like where does it end? Where does it end in his face? And what does his face look like? He had this sort of like empty grin. I'm making a monster, basically. There was an episode where there was magic lipstick which made women want to kiss him if he put it on. That's right. Including his sister? Oh my God. Yeah, that sure got dark. My sibling went to a party once, and there's a character called... They were like some bully characters, so were called like Rabbit and Possum, I guess. Like a bunch of animal names. And at this party, it was revealed that one of the people at the party was Rabbit from Round the Twist. And everyone was just like, he was like celebrity, like really minor character, just came in to like pick on the main characters every so often. It was like, Rabbit from Round the Twist! Taking their photo with him. Very fun. Gribble, Rabbit, and Tiger, thank you. Okay, so now we need the dead eyes of Mr. Squiggle. He had sort of like hooded eyes with eyelashes. What we're going to do after this is we're going to take a look at Mr. Squiggle and see how accurate, because I haven't looked at a picture of Mr. Squiggle since I was a child. So hooded eyes with sort of like eyeshadow. Wait, how would we draw these eyelashes? I do remember the eyelashes. Jack Skellington with Mr. Squiggle's nose. This would be a fun warm-up activity, don't you think? In that we could like, you just describe television mascots from your childhood, which I probably won't have seen, and even if I will have seen, I won't remember. So if you describe it and then I have to draw it based off of that description, I love those kind of games. Like drawing the Pokemon from memory is really, really fun. Oh no, I looked up Mr. Squiggle. Mr. Gribble just basically paved the way for every single Aussie Kids Showground antagonist. Yeah. Okay, there's the... Kind of like Snuffleupagus. You know Snuffleupagus is... Oh! Oh, what's happened? Oh, it's all gone wrong. But anyway, Snuffleupagus. Oh god, he looks stoned. You know what really pissed me off as a kid? And it was something that I could never really vocalize at the time because I didn't really know why it made me feel so angry. But it makes me angry for a few reasons. The fact that, you know how we have like the Mrs. Man character, Mrs. Male character, where there's you know that this character is a female character and not a male character because it looks like the male character but has oh, this is awful, what have I done? Because it has like eyelashes or lipstick or a bosom. So like if anything doesn't like looks featureless, then it's a boy. You should just assume it. And then if it has eyelashes, it's a girl. That's not the bit that made me really angry. I mean, let's make these eyelashes a little bit more curly. I think I just made it worse. That's okay. That's not the bit that, it's frustrating. But what made me angry was when they put eyelashes on male characters and they were males. Because there was such a lack of female characters in cartoons who were cool. And like Tweety Pie? Tweety Pie could have been a female character who like outsmarted this male cat all the time. Because everything about him is eyelashes. Baby Herman from Who Framed Roger Rabbit could have been a female character using those sort of things, but they made them a male anyway. So it's like you have your cake and eat it too. You have your default character is male, and then default character with eyelashes and gendered features is also male. And I was just like, oh my god, let us have something. That was what made me extra angry. It was the fact that we didn't even have that. Like there was so little representation. You had to have eyelashes and be hyper feminine in terms of your conduct as well. You know what I mean? Like you couldn't have cool girl characters. The girl characters had to be girly, and that they had to look effeminate and be girly. Those were the two things that made for a female character. If you looked effeminate but were kind of cool or plucky or whatever, then you were a boy character. Oh my god. What have I done with that eye? That's a little bit too low. But yeah, it was it's annoying. Like, I mean, it leads to a lot of internalized misogyny as well, right? And I think to this day, it's really changed the way that I see hyper-feminine characters. Like, I tend to be very dismissive of them and not appreciate them, or, they make me feel uncomfortable even, like VTubers and things like that. They really creep me out for a variety of reasons, and a lot of them have to do not with the performers themselves, but for everything about that concept of this performative, femininity, this cutesiness, the fact that, I know that a lot of the Western fan base are, horrible racists and borderline Nazis, and they're drawn to this because they're cute and they're kind of like the perfect female. And then you've got real people who are doing, there's a lot of stuff which is like, really bothers me. But I think a lot of it, when I think about it, it stems from this feeling of there being only one kind of female character. And at least when I was a kid growing up, you barely even got sassy characters, which, yeah, have their own problems, especially like the hyper competent one, whose only character trait is that they're competent at everything. Better than the boys. That's their character. Woman, but I think that's the good shorthand for it. I don't know. I heard about, 'cause Sean's always going on about VTubers, and sending me clips, with apologies, but he's like, I need to ask you a question about what the Japanese are using. Like he's really into learning all about what the hell it is they're doing and saying. But and he had like this sort of clown hair. Oh, this is so bad. And he had like a little clown. Oh, this is so bad. I don't like it. This is worse than that Mr. Mime I drew. Jesus Christ. This is terrifying. But yeah, he was telling me about how VTubers are starting to become more, like they're going to make an English sort of language version, and I'm worried about what effect that will have on the talent, because they get enough shit from other Japanese speakers who will show up at their house and stalk them and end their careers essentially because we can't have good things, but then for them to also be subjected to, Nazis angry at them because it turns out they're actually human beings with autonomy, that makes me a little worried. Doesn't Mr. Squiggle wear a skirt? Like, he's sort of like a spaceman who's made up of, like, bits. I'm probably just making all this up, but I'm turning him into Mr. Mime, essentially. Hyper competent female characters might have still been created well intentionally. Yeah. It's a tough one, isn't it? I guess I'm just very cynical, especially when there's a large industry involved. Like, given how commercial VTubing, like having lived like 6 years in Japan, the way that the music scene, like there is an underground music scene, and it's very, very strong, but it's buried so deep underground that you need to know people who know people who know people in order to even access that kind of thing inside of Japan. So the main thing that gets shown around is this exploitative sort of 48 women, young, like teenage girls in a band somehow. That sort of model. AKB48, you have to sort of admire the cynicism that went into it. Like, well, if we have 48 women, what we can do is we can make people buy more albums if we have different versions of the album, one with like each of the different people in front. So if people want to collect them all, they can do that, or they can get a regular album and one with their favorite person in it. And also, not only that, but we can have concerts every day and just have a cycle of the people who take the lead or who are available. We can have like AKB48 touring all of Japan simultaneously, but with just 2 or 3 members. Like, that is evil genius, Yeah, idol culture is messed up, really messed up. It really scares me, and I only found out very recently that VTubers were mostly not, well, the VTubers that we know or that become big, it's the same model. It's the same big company cynically decides what people want to see and then hires people based on that and subjects them to exploitation and, keeps all the rights of their intellectual property and requires that they adhere to certain rules and models in order to make the most money. I just feel really bad because, like, this is an area, because it's unscripted, it's an area where you could see a lot of young women in Japan getting financial autonomy and being able to make their own decisions with this sort of content and doing what they want with it. But it's just been designed and utilized in a way that these women do not really get that luxury. And to me, that seems really, really sad. I've been trying to, like, because I know Sean is a critical consumer of these things, but I've talked with him a lot about sort of, the appeal of VTubers and all that, and trying to get to the bottom of why I get this sort of gut reaction of, do not want with anything to do with VTubers. And those are some of the myriad of reasons that I've come up with for why it sort of rubs me the wrong way. Which isn't, again, to say that no one should enjoy it. It's the same thing as anything else. I'm not going to begrudge anyone who enjoys VTubers. In fact, I think it's better that way. I'd much rather enjoy everything than to find everything really disturbing. But yeah, I guess it's just certain things have an effect on you more than other things. Oh God, don't even start on Playboy magazine. It's often framed as a feminist thing despite similarly being designed in its inception to prevent its models from getting true autonomy in much the same. Yeah! I like those kind of magazines are something that I've always despised. And the whole thing about it being about empowerment is like, it's just, it's so cynical. It's so horrible. And then when Hugh Hefner died, people are saying, oh, what a legend. It's like, he's a fucking arsehole. Why did he make all the money? Like, why aren't all the women who were involved in the inception of this magazine, why aren't they the ones who have all the money? How come all the money somehow ended up in his hands, despite him, not doing anything? Well, obviously he did something, but, it's just capitalism. All the wrong people make the money. Like, it just somehow, I guess it must be merit, all the money just always ends up in cis white male hands. I wonder why that is. I wonder, there must be something biologically about them which just makes them better suited to every single thing ever. Jesus Christ. I was just talking about being so optimistic. I genuinely am. And the reason why I am is because, yes, this stuff still exists, but people are more aware of it. And these discussions are being had now, which is fantastic. I remember when I was in high school, no one was having these discussions. If you mentioned something, you would be a feminazi or a killjoy or taking it too seriously. It's just a joke. Don't worry about it. And that was where the conversation ended. But now it's actually a conversation. And the pushback is getting more and more desperate. It's getting more and more violent and virulent, but that's a sign that they're scared, which makes me happy. I like their fear. Jeez. Yeah, in high school, there was a big fashion thing where like a lot of women wore the Playboy bunny icon, and at the time, again, I didn't have the language to describe what it was about it that made me so uncomfortable. Maybe another reason why I'm feeling better about all this stuff now is because I've done enough. I'm old enough now that I've acquired the language to be able to express myself. It's so important to be able to do that, Like, if you don't have language to talk about something that makes you uncomfortable, how are you supposed to deal with it? Internally or externally, bringing it up. Playboy began with leaked nude images of Marilyn Monroe. I believe she also did not consent to their publication. Oh my god. Yeah, Marilyn Monroe is another thing. We were like, oh yay, Marilyn Monroe. She was so happy. Why can't there be more women like Marilyn Monroe? Really? You want other women to be like horribly depressed and like, repeatedly taken advantage of by men despite their high IQ, despite their, their vast intellect? Ugh. She's definitely a tragic figure, but not quite in the way that a lot of people sort of make it out. Like, it's sort of very glamorized her rise and fall in a way that I find very uncomfortable. And also like YouTube, I believe. Wasn't YouTube itself started out as like a way to leak videos, like upskirt videos or something like that. I don't know. I don't want to like spread rumors. I remember there was something skeezy about it that was related to misogyny. Facebook. No, sorry. I think I'm thinking of Facebook, but no, I think YouTube was something skeezy as well. Oh, it started out to show Janet Jackson's nipple, right? That's another thing. Her career never recovered from that. Justin Timberlake did fine. People are very silly, you know? Very silly. I'm so glad it's something that we're starting to acknowledge now. I'm just gonna make his hair just sort of like come out of the side of his head. And this is how we draw curly hair, everyone. It's not. I'm just it's bullshitting. IMDb was for actresses with hot eyes. Oh. If you look at any of the tags of an IMDb movie, there are some really creepy tags. Like, I can't remember, but there was this article of like the weirdest IMDb tags. Some of them are downright like, oh, anyone who clicks on those tags should probably go to prison. You know, prematurely. Well, not necessarily prematurely, they've probably done something. Oh. But then there are other ones that are just weird. Can't think of any. Oh, it's very quiet. Let's put on some yodeling. Okay. I'm gonna put on, there we go. 4chan's taken an anti-Hollywood Peter position now, despite being notorious for that content 10 years ago. That's interesting. The kids are growing up. Anyone think 4chan could be redeemable? I don't. I feel like it really does rot your brain to use it. Like, the more you use it, the more you believe that you're actually more clever than everyone else, and the less true that is. I remember during, like, Gamergate, I would be making fun of all the, like, at the time, 4chan, like, right when it began. I was there at the beginning, don't you know? But all, like, the 4chan, or I guess eventually 8chan as well, I'd be making fun of them by being sarcastic, and they would think I was being serious. Like, they wouldn't understand, because it's like they believe that everyone who disagrees with them is fundamentally, you know, has no sense of humor, isn't intelligent, and they are. And so they don't actually look for humor or intelligence or wit or anything, and they just end up looking foolish. I had so much fun with them. Oh god. I still remember I made this Twitter account called Gamer Lex Luthor, and I would just say like pro Gamergate things mixed in with Lex Luthor quotes, and they just ate it up, like unironically. A bunch of other people started making like Gamer the Joker, Gamer Scarecrow, and that sort of thing accounts. Mr. Freeze. That was a lot of fun. But then at some point I was like, you know, I'm just gonna put the McCarthy manifesto about the Red Scare and just replace the name, you know, communist with SJW. And that really took off. And then I got creeped out, so I stopped. Oh, final warning? Oh, has it stopped? Oh my god. Why does it do that? Thank you. For some reason my chatbot hasn't been working lately. So I'm sorry about that. I'll try to find another way to let me know. Okay, let's try... It's so weird. I just need to like switch it off and on again. Oh, yeah, could we move on? Sure! Yeah, 4chan is kind of shit. So let us move on. What were we talking about before? We were talking about creepy TV shows. Let's continue along with that line. What are some other really creepy, like childhood? I can't believe I've spent more time on this horrible Mr. Squiggle than I have on on that alright face of my old Sonic fan character. What's with that? Oh, you're trying to bring my attention to what Evelyn was saying. Oh, okay. Thank you for that. Very much appreciated. And thank you, Evelyn, for mentioning that. It's always good to never be afraid or nervous or ashamed or anxious to bring that stuff up with me, because this conversation, it flows, and the world's not very nice, so sometimes we do end up talking about some dark things, but I never want to, continue that. We can always, if there's, if people are having an interesting conversation about those sorts of things, we can always continue it on the Discord or somewhere else, so it's all good, all good. Wallace the Grommet, the wrong trousers and close shave were scary growing up. Wallace has a weird face, doesn't he? Oh, let's do everyone's favorite. We still have decent, you can still see what I'm doing, right? Okay, good. Just double checking. Honestly, don't know why this horrible Mr. Squiggle picture has taken so long. Didn't he have, lips as well? Really, not full lips. Let's give him some luscious lips. This is another thing. He had full luscious lips, he wore a skirt, he had big long eyelashes, and by children's standards, by children sort of dumbing down gender into physical traits, should have been a lady. One episode of Babar scared the shit out of me. Oh yeah, Babar had some really creepy things in it, didn't it? Tintin as well. Tintin. Ever watched an ABC Kids show called Freaky? This is so the mom from Rugrats. ABC Kids show called Freaky? Was it one of those 5-minute, sort of anthology things? Is the audience just vaguely clapping? I never noticed that before. I just thought of something for him to say. Ah! Oh, it's a supercut. There we go. I apologize to everyone for unironically enjoying yodeling. I wish I could do it. I'd love to take yodeling classes. I know it's kind of got, to a degree, alt-right connections. But then that's something that makes it so funny. This is the first time I've heard this Franz a Lung person sing a different song. Tintin's an asexual icon. He's an asexual icon, but he is also a colonist icon. It's one of those things, isn't it? Yeah, I was always a big fan of the Jughead as well. I very much like the sexless characters when I was growing up. Maybe it was an indication of seeing myself in them. I don't know what his hands look like, because I mean, like, it's not like he needs hands, because he's got like a big pencil for a nose. There we go. Soon we'll be done with this hell spawn. I'm demisexual, yeah, so I'm on that spectrum. Sort of more asexual leaning, like basically asexual, I think you could say. I made a video about it for the YouTubes for Pride Month a few years ago, because it took me ages to realize, to come to that understanding. God damn, this supercut. This is divine. Okay, I swear I'll be done with this monstrosity soon. Just gonna put these random legs anywhere. Yeah, you can link the video. Sure, go ahead. No worries. I'm gonna do another one hopefully next year about being agender. I was gonna do it this year, but then with COVID and all that, things got kind of muddled up. And the last one took me a lot of work. The song changes are so abrupt in this supercut. Okay, so here we go. That's Mr. Squiggle, as I remember him. Now I'm going to look up a picture of Mr. Squiggle. Oops. Mr. Squiggle. He's a lot smaller than I remember. I thought he was like man-sized. Okay, open image in new tab, and then I'll share that with everyone. Unless there's a way for me to let's move that to the side. This is a little bit awkward. Sorry, everyone. I'll add a new window capture. Window capture, and then, yeah. Ah! It's in front of my face! Get it away! Get it away from my face! Oi! What's it Oi! Get down there! Get down there! Ass. There. So, it's not bad. Actually, I was a lot more close than I thought. I did kind of turn Mr. Squiggle more into a robot than I was thinking. I thought he was a man in a... I thought he was like a human-sized person in my memories that, wrote with his face, but he's just 100% a marionette puppet. Sorry, my dad's communicating, do I want to eat food? Okay, so apparently dinner is ready. Oh my god, why did I draw that? I think I spent a whole hour drawing that. To what end? To what end? There we go, put that back in there. Yeah, my parents like to eat dinner early, and I'm obliging. As I'm, looking after them during COVID, part of that means eating when they eat, doing as the Romans do, as it were. But anyway, look at what we made. We made a terrifying Mr. Squiggle. Oh, Kumi Kooks, thank you so much for following. And then we made... Wait, did it freeze again? Oh my god. It's always something, isn't it? Okay, yeah. So I made a terrifying Mr. Squiggle, and we made a little fox ghost with hair. After streaming port. Always Always poorly. Anyway, that is probably a sign for me to get off and get ready to eat, but I appreciate you all joining me for this sort of impromptu stream. It definitely was not something I was planning on doing today, especially because I'm streaming later I'm streaming later tonight, aren't I? Gosh, okay. I guess that'll be happening as well. So maybe I'll do some more drawing, given that Sean went to bed very late and will probably not be up. Look at my hair. You can see all the bobby, all the little curls there. All right. Well, given that we're here, let's find somebody to raid, shall we? Is he saying on the radio? We have got... Oh, Arcrat is also doing an impromptu stream. And oh, Dominic Evans is online. I don't think I've been able to raid Dominic Evans before. Dominic Evans is a really insightful tweeter, but I've never seen any of their streams. Dominic Evans playing Fortnite. Okay, everyone. I hope you have a good time, and I'll see you later tonight, I guess. Ciao for now. Bye-bye.